Hi friends, and welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Do you know what day it is? It is just our Imagination Challenge Day. I love this day. It is so much fun, and I know you do too. But before we get to the video, I just want to welcome you if you're new. My name is Brenda, and this is my sleepy, hairy Oliver who needs a haircut really badly. And if you're returning, we love you so much. So with all that being said, let's get to crafting. Okay, DIY number one. So I'm going to take two more of these little plaques from Dollar Tree. I'm going to take my Waverly chalk paint in the color Snow White, and I am just going to do a heavy dry brushing on them. Now, I kind of went a little too heavy on the first one, but that's okay. So I bought these from Essential Stencils right before the beginning of the year. I bought these a couple years ago, and I just absolutely loved them, and I just wanted to get them again. So I decided to take one of the cherry blossoms, which I just love, and I'm going to put it along the inside of this plaque. And then I'm just going to take my little tool here and I'm just going to rub that transfer onto my plaque. And I'm just going to remove that cover, and then I'll just continue to rub if anything's coming up while I'm pulling off that transfer sheet. And then I took some of the butterflies that came on there, and I'm just going to add one here, this blue one, and then I'm going to add the yellow one. And again, like you see, I'm pulling up the transfer sheet, and then I'm just rubbing as I see some coming up. I lay it back down and rub some more until it comes up without any of the image on it. And so this is super simple and easy, you guys. This whole thing just took just minutes to do. So on the next one, I took another one of the branches that it didn't have very many of the cherry blossoms on it. I added a bird, and then I just cut out, there was some little cherry blossoms by themselves. So I cut them out, and I'm just adding them around the branch. And then I'm going to add another butterfly. And then all I did was I took some of these little hooks, and I'm just going to screw them onto each one. And that's all there was. We have these very simple and easy DIYs. I love how these came out. They are just so beautiful. I'm definitely keeping these. Okay, so today is the Just Our Imagination Challenge. I host this on the second Monday of every month with my best friend Kathy Jo with Kathy Jo DIYs, and we always have some must-use items, and then we decide on who we thought used those must-use items the best during that video, and then we pick them and ask them to be our co-host. In December, we had asked May if she wanted to be one of our co-hosts for her pooper scooper shovel there that she did such an amazing job on. She wasn't able to, so we went ahead and just allowed her to be part of this month. And then we also have Cindy with Z9 Designs, who made these amazing projects. That picture with the flowers was made with hair scrunchies, and we just thought what she did was so good. So we invited her as well. So make sure you check out both these ladies' channels as well as the playlist. I'll have links to all of them in the description box below. Okay, so for DIY number two, I took one of these cutting boards from Dollar Tree. I removed the front part of it, and I started to remove the paper. It wasn't coming off very easily. So I took my heat gun and just kind of laid it on top, went over it for a little bit, and it did come off a lot easier. So I'm just showing you kind of how easy it was scraping off compared to before. And so once I had all of the paper removed from the cutting board part and the other little square, I'm just going to spritz it down real well with water, and then I let it sit for about 5 minutes. And then I'm just using my paint scraper here to scrape off all of that extra paper that was there and adhesive. Then once I was done and it was all cleaned, I took my Waverly chalk paint in the color Snow White again, and I'm just again doing a dry brushing, so that way you can see some of the brown from in the back of it, and it gives it that nice rustic country farmhouse look that I absolutely love. So after I had both of those done, I took my Mod Podge and I just put it over the top piece that I took off, and I'm just going to brush that all over that piece, and then I let that dry, which only takes a few minutes, maybe 5 at the most. And then I took this napkin. I believe I got this, I have several of these, couple of years ago from decoupagenapkins.com when I first found them. And I tore the 2 layers off. I did cut off some of the trim from the other napkin, and I'm laying the trim down. Here I thought I had it straight, and then I took that off, and it was like crooked. I was like, but that's okay. I think I covered it up well. Anyways, I'm going to lay another strip of that down, and I'm using the parchment paper to protect that napkin, and then I'm using my heat press to go over it so that the napkin sticks to that Mod Podge. So once I had the sides done, I added the rest of the napkin, and then I was like, okay, that is way too much of a gap. I don't know how that's going to look. So I went ahead and added some Mod Podge all over the napkin just to give it that protective layer. But I'm also adding it where that strip was there, and I just added another one of the what is that? The trim. And I'm just going to use my Mod Podge, and then I'm going to lay that napkin down, the trim part, and then just cover it with a little bit more Mod Podge, and then just let it dry. Once it was all dry, I took my little finger sander here, and I'm just going to sand off all that extra napkin that was hanging over the edge. Then I took an embroidery hoop. This is just a smaller embroidery hoop I got from a yard sale, and I'm taking my antique wax, and I'm just going to brush my antique wax all along the inside and outside part of it, and then just kind of give it a few minutes to dry. And then I'm taking my Tight Bond Quick and Thick multi-surface glue, and I'm going to glue that right over my image, my birds and the Bless This Home image. And then I'm going to use the same Tight Bond glue on the back as well as some hot glue. Now I only do the hot glue for the immediate hold. I didn't really need to. I could have waited because I wasn't going to be doing a whole lot with this at the time, but that's what I did. So I took those little tacks that came off, and I am just going to put them right back where they came off of. And then I decided to take some flowers I had in my stash, and I'm just going to glue them around the outside part of that embroidery hoop. So I'm adding these flowers here, some of these greenish daisies that I had in my stash. These are ranunculus, I think you call them. I don't know. But anyways, I got those from Walmart. These little yellow roses came from Hobby Lobby, and I just went around both sides of that embroidery hoop. Then I took this ribbon from Dollar Tree. I'm making a bow. I'm doing the thing that I do all the time, the awareness ribbon, scrunch it up in the middle and tie a knot. I know I need to adventure out and try some more different bows, but sometimes I'm just a creature of habit. So I'm going to dovetail the ends. You just fold the ends together and cut at an angle. And then I'm just going to hot glue that right at the neck of that cutting board. And then I decided hot glue 4 tumbling tower blocks together, and then I did a strip of 3 for a stand, and I glued the strip of 3 on top of the 4. Maybe it's 2. Looks like 2. I painted them with my Snow White, but it was not enough to hold my cutting board up because of the flowers and everything on the top. It was making it front heavy. So I decided, okay, well, let me just start adding some more tumbling tower blocks to see. And I ended up using like 25 tumbling tower blocks just to keep it from going forward. So yeah, I got to figure out a better way for that. But anyways, I did end up painting those, and there it is. I love that napkin. I think it's so pretty, and I really love how this turned out. You'll have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below. Okay, guys, how are you doing? I am so glad you are here. I always like to stop in and just give a little hello, talk with you just a little bit. I am so loving this challenge. I was really dreading this challenge. One of our must-use items, I think, is, I don't know, I thought it was worse than the pooper scooper, but I thought of an idea, and I was so proud of myself. I got all 4 must-use items in one DIY this time. I am tickled pink about it. But anyways, you'll see that here in a few minutes. But anyways, I really hope you guys are all having a wonderful week. I know that spring is right around the corner, and I know a lot of you are just so sick and tired of this cold weather. I am too. And the snow, luckily we don't get much snow, but we do get some cold weather here. But I keep telling myself, this too shall pass, right? This too shall pass. It's going to be spring before we know it, and it just can't come soon enough. But I am starting my spring DIYs, so hopefully that helps all of us a little bit get in that spring vibe, even if it's cold outside. But anyways, if you're new here, I am so glad you stopped by today. I hope you enjoyed today's video as well as this playlist. I'm sure you will, because it's a lot of fun. And if you are new here and enjoy home decor on a budget, I would invite you to hit that red subscribe button, become part of our YouTube family. I am like 300, less than 300 subscribers away from my 25,000 benchmark. So I would love it if you have not hit that subscribe button yet. If you would hit it before you go, it doesn't cost anything to you and it helps me out. And then make sure you hit that notification bell as well so that you're notified every time I upload a video, which is usually around Sundays and Thursdays. But for the Just Our Imagination Challenge, it is on Mondays. So anyways, I would love it if you'd help me out by doing that. And then again, for those of you who are here every week, you guys all know how much I appreciate you and how much you guys just bless my heart. I love it when you guys comment, share parts of your life. I love reading it. And I might not respond a lot. But don't think I don't read it and I don't enjoy it. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm just a person of few words sometimes, especially when it comes to writing or typing. I like to make it short and simple. Anyways, this guy, he's so silly. What are you doing? He did not want to come out and do work this morning. I called, tell me it's time to do work. And he gets a treat afterwards. And he hid on my husband's lap. And when I went to go get him, he crawled over to the other side. I think he thought I was going to brush his teeth because we got his teeth cleaned last month. So I've been doing a much better job at being consistent with brushing his teeth. And I think he thought I was going to grab him to brush his teeth. Anyways, okay. So all with the chit-chatting. Oh my goodness. Again, guys, thank you all so very much. So I think we better just get on with the video. So with all that being said, let's continue on with the video. Okay, DIY number 3. So I'm going to take 2 of these wood hanging planks from Dollar Tree. I'm going to paint both of them with my Waverly chalk paint in the color hazelnut. I paint both sides of each one of those. And then I'm going to take my white chalk paint again with my chip brush. Now these chip brush came from a Dollar Tree. And I'm going to do another just heavy dry coating of that over the planks so that you see some of that brown coming through. Then I'm going to take some twine here and I'm going to hot glue it all the way around each board two times. Now I got this idea from Amazon. I saw these on Amazon and they were like $28 for 2 of these. And I thought, I know I could recreate that very easily for probably less than $10. So that's what I'm going to do. So I did this with my twine over both of them. Then before I went around the second time, I thought, oh, I better add my hanger because it's going to kind of cover up that hole. So I went ahead and cut a piece of this off and add it through the hanger holes. And I'm just tying knots on the back. And then that way I was able to go around without covering up those holes. And here I'm just putting the last bit of it around the top. And then after that, I took some of these roses. These came from Dollar Tree. They were a little too full. I wanted them to be closer in. So I'm just using my hot glue to kind of glue them inward. And then I'm going to put them together. I'm going to take some Baby's Breath from Dollar Tree. And then the frosted greenery comes from the greenery picks that have like the different color flowers on them. I'm going to add some of those to this. And then I had some eucalyptus from Dollar Tree as well. And I'm going to add some of that. And I'm just kind of putting it all together. And then once I have them all together and like I wanted them, I'm going to take some twine here. I'm going to wrap it around the stems. And I go almost all the way down. I don't go all the way down, but I'm pretty close. And I'm just wrapping it and wrapping it and wrapping it. And then I'm going to go back upward. And I left a tail at the top of the twine. And then I'm going to go back up with my twine here. And then I'm going to cut it so that I have another longer tail. And then I'm going to tie the 2 tails together in the back. And I'm just kind of, there we go. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm tightening it up. Anyways, I'm going to tie a knot there. And then I'm going to trim off the excess. And that just holds it all in place. And then I'm going to put some hot glue on it. And I'm going to glue it to the middle of my sign. And then I'm going to take some of this faux leather ribbon that I got years ago from Dollar Tree. You could use any kind of ribbon. I'm going to place a tack down there that I got from Hobby Lobby. These are more decorative tacks. And I'm just going to hammer those in, one on each side. And then those tacks went through. So I'm using those square pliers to cut the ends off, and then I just put a little bit of hot glue over them so you can't feel the pokiness of it. And that's all there is. I love how these came out. They're so simple, but yeah, so pretty. And yeah, I just love them. You have to let me know what you think about these as well in the comment box below. Okay, it is a time for a celebration of your recreation. And we have these pretty pieces that Lynette made for Valentine's Day. I love them all, Lynette. Thank you so much for sharing those with us. And then Renee made these two risers. She made the little shelf and she made the risers. So pretty. And then Carolyn, I love this beautiful piece she made. Thank you, ladies, so much for sharing those. And if you have a creation or recreation that you would like me to showcase, you can send pictures to my email address that's listed there, or you can send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. Okay, DIY number 4. Okay, so these are the must-use items. We have yarn, we have a plastic container of some sort, some dice, any type, foam, wood, whatever, and a Band-Aid, you guys. Band-Aids, of all things, Band-Aids. I was like, this has got to be worse than the pooper scooper. What do you do with the Band-Aids? Well, I think it's a brilliant idea. We'll see. I can't wait to see what everybody else comes up with. So I took my pumpkin spice creamer container. I took off the paper and I'm taking my fuzzy yarn here and I'm just going to wrap it around the container and I'm just hot gluing it as I go. And then I'm going to wrap until I get all the way to the top. You guys, I am so sorry. I cannot wait to get my voice completely back. There's times where I go to talk or say something and I can barely get anything out. So hopefully this cough and everything goes away completely soon and I can start talking normal. Anyways, I'm just showing you, I just went up to the top and I'm just covering that little hole that was there between the cap and the bottle itself and just kept wrapping. And then at the top, I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue all over there. And then I'm just going to keep pushing that twine down in a circle, more like an oval, until it was all covered, and then just cut the excess off. So after that, I took some of this pink burlap ribbon that came from Dollar Tree, and I'm just cutting out 2 pieces that are kind of the shape of an ear as best as I could cut it. And then after that, I'm going to take some more of that fuzzy yarn and I'm going to glue it all around each ear. So it looks like a white ear with pink inside. And if you haven't guessed, I'm making a bunny. And yeah, I thought the bunny came out pretty cute. And then my grandson said, you need to give it a mouth. And I think that I think the mouth made it look silly, super silly. Yeah, so I'm blaming it on him. Anyways, after I had both of those covered, I am going to take each one and I'm going to glue them behind the top with my hot glue. And there was the little ridge there and I just glued one on each side of that. Then I took a half bead, I put it on some painter's tape and I'm taking my ballet slipper by Waverly and painting that. Now I was going to use some baker's twine. I know I have some somewhere. It's buried. I don't know where it went, but I couldn't find it. So I had to use some black yarn that I had and I'm trying to make some whiskers. And I think the baker's twine is just a little thinner. It would have looked a little bit better, but I didn't get it quite tight enough in the middle, so it kind of looks funny. But I glued that little bead on top for the nose, and I gave him some eyes, and I thought it looked really cute that way. And then I listened to my grandson and gave him a mouth. Now I think it looks funny. But anyways, I am going to make just a little bow with this ribbon from Dollar Tree. I'm going to add it to the little bunny there. And then I painted these dice with my Snow White. Now I did do like about 3 coats of paint on them. And then I'm like, okay, what am I going to do with this Band-Aid? Well, I don't show it here, but I did take that middle cotton piece off. It does pull right off. And I thought, I wonder if I can, because didn't want to get up to get my stickers because they're kind of buried too. And I knew I was going to have to dig for them. So I thought, I wonder if I could make stickers out of my Band-Aid and spell the word hop with the Band-Aid. So I cut out all these pieces. I'm going to paint one of them with that Cotton Blue by Apple Barrel. This is the P. On the H, I had already tried it out and I had used Bright Magenta by Apple Barrel. But I'm just painting them real lightly so that it doesn't look like a Band-Aid. And then for the O, I'm going to use this, I think it's Light Lavender, yeah, by Folk Art. And I'm going to paint the O that color as well. Now, I have to tell you though, getting the back off of these was a booger. The bigger pieces, it wasn't so hard, but the smaller pieces, I probably sat there for 5-7 minutes on each one trying to get the backing off. But once I did, I just laid them in place on my dice, and we have each dice has a letter and it spells hot. I was so proud of myself. Anyways, I took this wood round. It came from, I believe it came from Walmart, and those dowel caps from Hobby Lobby. I painted them all white, and then I took that bright magenta and in a small paintbrush, and I'm just going very lightly around that little ridge that's around the round. After I have that all painted and it was dried, I took my Titebond glue again, and I'm just going to glue those dowel caps to the bottom to be the feet for my little riser. After that, I am going to take my dice. I'm going to glue them in front of my little rabbit, and I glued my rabbit on there as well. I guess I didn't show that part. And then I decide to go ahead and fill up in between those dice with some moss, and I'm going to add some flowers to the top of the dice, and then I also added some flowers in between each dice. And I think this came out, other than the silly little mouth, I think it came out really, really cute. And who would know that I use Band-Aids to spell the word hot? But anyways, there it is. What a fun little piece for spring or Easter. And yeah, you have to let me know what you think about that. And I used all 4 items in one. I couldn't believe it. Anyways, the final reveal is coming right up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I really hope you enjoyed this playlist. I know I always do. But I am so glad you guys stopped by today. Make sure you give me that thumbs up, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already before you go. And with all that being said, don't forget to check out the playlist. With all that being said, I will see you on Thursday with another video. So have a great week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.